everyone, Procrastinating Turtle here. Pokemon Day is rapidly approaching, and as I was racing to finish the script for this video, Pokemon Presents has been announced. It will air at 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Pokemon Day, February 27th, 2023. I scoured the official Pokemon website as well as their YouTube and Twitter accounts in the hope to find any clues as to what could be revealed on Monday. On the official YouTube channel, we have already been briefly introduced to a couple of interesting things. In the latest video, we invite you to Pokemon Together. During the trade portion of the video, there is something quite curious in the background that caught my attention. It looks like a game map hanging on the wall. Unfortunately, it is very blurry when one is to zoom in on it. To me, it looks only to be a partial of a map and not the whole thing. The red squares are very reminiscent of the older games, making me think about Generation 2, Generation 3 maybe. I looked the Poke Earth map over to try to find an area that looked like this map, and came up with 3 ideas. This map could be Generation 3 around Lily Cove as the routes do the same turns, or it could be part of a map for a rumored Scarlet and Violet DLC, or even though it is way in the future, a portion of a game map for Generation 10. In the video titled, "An all-new Pokemon series is coming," it was sadly revealed that the iconic duo of Ash and Pikachu will be leaving the series. It isn't clear how they will write the pair out of the series, but one can hope Ash will finally become a Pokemon Master. Or maybe because his name is Ash, and it has been a running theme that the Pokemon professors are named after trees, perhaps Ash will still make appearances in the new series as a professor and mentor to the new main characters. In this video, it was stated that only 11 episodes remained with Ash and Pikachu, which were to begin airing in Japan on January 13th of this year. As the series has a weekly release, the final episode should air on March 24th, unless they do a 2-episode finale, in which case that date would be on March 17th. Next in the video is a quick glimpse of the 6 starter Pokemon: Squirtle, Cyndaquil, Rowlet, Tepig, Totodile, and Chikorita. I find it rather interesting that half are from Generation 2, but back to that later. Then we see a glimpse of a girl choosing Sprigatito as her starter Pokemon, and an even briefer glimpse at a shiny Rayquaza, which was introduced in Generation 3 as the third of that generation's legendary trio. But I wonder why it was specifically a shiny? Finally, there's a still image of the video's thumbnail, and we can now fully see the girl from before, as well as a boy standing behind her, who I'm assuming is potentially going to be her rival. Kind of a swapping of roles, as in the original games, Red was the main character, and Blue, or Green, depending on which version of the games you got, was Red's opposite. And this girl has both blue and green aspects of her design. To also hint that she will be the main protagonist, her hair clip matches the design found on Ash's backpack, as well as his original hat. While I didn't find anything official on any of the Pokemon's web pages, I saw a couple of articles which they say the girl's name is Lyco, and the boy's name is Roy, with a reported release date of April 14th, 2023, which I'm assuming will be in Japan. Next on the Pokemon Company's YouTube page is the video titled Pokemon TCG Scarlet and Violet coming in 2023. In this video, we see the legendaries Koraidon and Miraidon get EX cards. Perhaps the terrestrial mechanic will be incorporated somehow into these cards, as there is a cool detail shown, which is very reminiscent of the crystalline look that the terrestrialized Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet get. Other cards seen are Mimikyu, Lucario, and Magnezone. Some of the cards have shadows covering up details, which is understandable as the cards were still in development at the time of the trailer's release, but perhaps they are trying to hide some interesting new details. On the official Pokemon Twitter page, I found some more noteworthy things. Now, full transparency, this may just be some confirmation bias on my part if you have seen my previous Pokemon prediction videos. The first tweet of the new year is of Togepi, which reads, "Togepi is here to bring you luck in the new year," with an egg emoji. 2 things about this caught my attention. First, the Pokemon. Why specifically Togepi, out of the 1008 Pokemon that we have now? It was introduced in Generation 2. Also, it says that the Pokemon is here to bring you luck, while also using an egg emoji. Why an egg? Is it because Togepi pretty much stays in his egg, or perhaps it is something else? The item Lucky Egg was also introduced in Generation 2. This item boosts the amount of experience a Pokemon receives from battle. The second tweet is from January 3rd. This one is more so of a leap though. It reads, New Year's resolution. Take the correct path forward, while showing a player completing a gym puzzle to not fall through the ice. However, this is not an ice gym, but actually the 8th gym in Pokemon Emerald, Juan's gym in Sotopolis, which is actually a water gym. This is what caught my attention though. In Ruby and Sapphire, you go against a different gym leader, Wallace, who at one point was Juan's student before he became the league champion of Hoenn, yet you still go through the same puzzle in Ruby and Sapphire, so why did they show a video specifically of Emerald, the complementary game? Also, why that specific gym puzzle where the player walks in thin ice? Is ice supposed to be the clue? This was not an ice-type gym. Generation 3 doesn't have one, which is curious as we saw our first ice-type gym in Generation 2 and have seen many from Generation 4 onwards. The next tweet is from January 11th, and this one caught my attention as it was a bit oddly placed. The next tweet is from January 11th, and this one caught my attention as it was a bit oddly placed. It says, pay tribute to the Johto region and the magical world of Pokemon with your very own Love Ball replica from the Wand Company. Why specifically pay tribute to Johto? If it was about releasing a new Pokeball replica, specifically the Love Ball so close to Valentine's Day, then why not wait until February to release it? Or at least mention Valentine's Day in that tweet. The second to last tweet is from February 9th. I don't know if there was much context surrounding this tweet, as it was simply a screenshot from the Pokemon series of an Azumarill by water with an emoji which is very similar to that of the shocked Pikachu face image. However, this is not just an Azumarill. This particular Azumarill has a pink bow on the tail and only appears in one episode of the series. That episode is titled Love Totodile Style, which is set in Johto and focuses quite a bit on Ash's Totodile, which is a Generation 2 starter Pokemon. This episode aired in Japan on January 2nd, 2000, and in North America on May 26, 2001. This lines up fairly close to the release of Pokemon Crystal, which was December 14, 2000 in Japan, and July 29, 2001 in North America. Finally, the last tweet is actually the announcement for Pokemon Presents. Once the TV and the video turned on, we saw the silhouettes of the first 18 Pokemon before they surround a Pokeball. Could there be anything to the fact that it showed only Kanto Pokemon? Or is there any kind of hint to the number 18, which is the national dex number of the last Pokemon shown? There have been, I feel anyway, many hints to Pokemon Emerald in Generation 2, but what does it mean? Emerald is the birthstone to those born in May. Could that mean anything? Could a game be released in May or September, as that is the month that Emerald was released in? There were also many hints to Generation 2. Could Generation 2 be getting some attention coming soon? Or could it be a combination of the two? Could Emerald simply be hinting at the complementary games, which could mean we could hopefully see a remake of Generation 2 complementary game Crystal? Hopefully? Questions aside, here's what I think we could see talked about on Monday. I believe we could get more information on the new Pokemon series, such as the official announcement of the series release date and main character names. While I never personally got into the card game, I'm sure we will get more information regarding the new cards, possibly a definitive release date or the reveal of a new feature found in the new set. Definitely we could see some quick updates on one or more of the various non-console games, such as Pokemon Unites, Pokemon Remix Cafe, or Pokemon Go. If I had to guess, we'll probably get something for Pokemon Go. Personally, I do not think we will get it, but I would be lying if I didn't say that I hope to hear something Detective Pikachu related. I would have a shocked Pikachu face myself if we go through the full 20 minutes of the Pokemon Presents and they don't make an announcement of a Scarlet and Violet DLC, so I'm sure we will get that unless somehow the Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor didn't turn enough profit, or if they had too many issues for the Pokemon Company to consider bringing DLCs back. While it isn't guaranteed and may be confirmation bias on my part, I feel like I saw a lot of things hinting for a revisit to the Johto region. So for me, the main thing I want to see from the Pokemon Presents Monday is an announcement for a Pokemon Crystal remake. What do you think? Do you agree with anything in this video? Also, what about you? What is something you are hoping to be announced during Pokemon Presents? Let me know down in the comment section below.